right here. You have the two screws. You got a screw for this one right here, this lever. You've got a couple that are in, you can see this one, it's right up in this area right here. You can see it. There's another one that is right in the back, right there. You can see it right behind that bracket right there. That one right there. That's on the right side of the track if you're facing forward. I'm going to be replacing the rear motor. The other two bolts are easy to get to. They are just right in the back. Here's one post right there, right above the track, to the right of the track. And here's the other one. There is a bar. You need a short extension. Let's see. You need a bar, or I mean a short extension to get past this bar and get up to the bolt right there. Same thing on the other side, with the short extension on a 1/4 inch drive with the 13mm works just fine. Just be careful with it. What I did, I just took a screwdriver and then kind of pried it. Try not to pry too hard. It's just got pins, and it's only got 3 little keepers on it. This one right here, this one, and then that one, and the pins come out, and that can be pushed back in.
There we go. And now it's loose. Let's see. That's loose. So then we just take this wire bundle and move it out. So that frees it up. So then
I just set it aside. Let's see. The one I'm going to be replacing is this motor, which is in the back, and it controls that back up and down. There are your 4 bolt locations. These are easy to get to, just inside the tracks. These were kind of difficult because you have this bar that you have to go between to get up to. Same thing over here, you got this one, you got a bar that you got to go up to get to that nut right there. Okay, so it looks like it has, those are roll pins that hold it in. This one right here, that's what's holding it in, and it's a roll pin. So there's no real good way to get in there and hammer it out with a punch. Can't get to it from this side, so you have to take the base off. And then we'll see how it goes. These 2 brackets right here, can't get it out without removing those brackets for the center console. So I'll remove the center console to get those brackets undone. Okay, so removing the center console, what you do is you take all your junk out of the center console, and with a pry tool, you can just come up and pull up on these sides, pull up right.
You can see where the tabs are located, one in the middle, one on the sides, and then right back there. And then come right out. Ish. So it comes out, and we have the screws holding on, but we're trying to get to those brackets down there. So maybe we'll
Okay, so evidently I removed all the top screws from the top of the center console. So we're loosen this plastic piece off right here. It's just got the little clips. Got the little clips on the back, 3 on each side. Use your trim pry tool to undo it, or a screwdriver, whichever. Try not to mar your your plastic, and then unhook the cigarette lighter in there, and then you'll be able to get to the bottom bolts. Where are they?
They're right under. No, they're right under here.
Yeah, there we go. And then over here, right under there, and then should be able to pull off the center console so that you can get those brackets off, so that you can get to the roll
Coming
pin.
from the back of the front, driver's side, you can come over here and put in a ratcheting combination wrench, which makes life easier. The socket didn't fit, so I was going to use it.
So got those loose. It's loose right there. So now I'm just going to remove all of the wire keepers loose, but took all those screws out so I could get down below to that bolt down there. Okay, so here we are. You can see the roll pin right down here that's holding in this rear motor. So I think I'll have enough room just to hammer that out. Okay, what I ended up doing is I had this punch right here where it has that point in there, and it fit inside the roll pin to kind of get it started. Then I continued with this 1/8 inch drift and then drove it through. Now this won't come out, so now this is stuck in between here. Okay, so I couldn't get it out of the tube right there, so I just ended up punching that little pin out, and that seemed to work pretty well. It wasn't really that hard with a drift and a hammer just to kind of get it started. I actually got it started with these, just kind of pulling on it, but you can use a drift. It will keep the tube from coming out and unscrewing off of the shaft of the motor. So you have to push this outer ring off. Sorry, it's not focusing. There we go. And there's a snap ring in there that you will then be able to use. You can see the little gap in there. Let me see the little gap on this side, right there. You'll be able to pull that snap ring off. So what I did was I just got a couple of flathead screwdrivers that fit. That fit in there, and then pulled up from one side, and then had another one on the other side, and pulled up in through there, and that brought the snap ring up. And once you get it loose, you can just kind of get a little magnet, pull it out. And let's see if the other piece is magnetic. Nope. Have to turn it upside. Piece that clipped around the snap ring, and then the little nylon piece that was in there. On the new motor, it comes with a sleeve, and this is from Gino's Garage, and then a nut on the end, so that would make it a lot easier. This wasn't really all that bad though. I did have to work up this piece from the tube with the pair of screwdrivers, just prying it up. Anyway, so I'll probably leave the I don't know. I'll probably put the nylon washer back in there for this new one to ride, but anyway, use some marine grease. I have it laying around. It's you know, kind of resistant to water or whatever. I'm in a humid climate, so anyway, I just put some on the threads, because I did notice there was some grease in the tube, and you can kind of see the grease on there. It's kind of a gray grease, but anyway, yeah. So I put some. So I'm putting the little washer, the nylon washer, back in there. Here's the sleeve that came with the one. This new motor, and then the nut is a reverse threaded nut. It is, I'll tell you the size of it. It's an 11. That I just tapped it in there with a hammer, and then I'll squeeze it back together once I'm done tightening that nut. Just get some pliers and maybe use the vise to get it out. I just clamp the vice grip on it and I'm pushing that way while rotating to get it back over to the other side to where hopefully I can drive it out. I think I will be able to, because the vice grip seems to be able to kind of compress it. I got it in the vise, and I was pushing down on it while turning the roll pin, and it started dropping down. Okay, so here's the other winning combination. As I'm moving it back and forth, once you get enough space in there to get a screwdriver in, you can start prying it down and out. I'd probably watch as you're moving it back and forth with the vice grips not to hit this motor, because part of it is plastic, so you just want to be careful about that and keep it in mind. I really didn't mean to pull it all the way through, but actually it's kind of sliding back in there okay. Well, kind of. Anyway, so I'm going to flip it around and put the new motor in. Like I said before, you can kind of manually move the rear adjustment. Probably easier with some sort of tool. So here we go. I can move it up and down, so you can move the length of the rod like that. So you don't really have to worry about where the tube is sitting as you're putting it in. So you can just put it in, then you can line it up to it and push that little press pin in there, which that one's really not that big of a deal. And what I did was I just started the roll pin in there and just got it in there, just got to set it in there so that I could just pop it in with the hammer. The combination I used, I just kind of started tapping it in. This hammer fits between the motors okay. I got it started a little bit to where the motor was attached, or the pin was through the motor housing, then finish it off with this this punch, because it sits nicely in the middle of that roll pin, and then I can kind of angle it out and just tap it right on in. And so here it is right here. It's ready to accept the press pin, and I'll just hammer that in. And I'll probably need something right behind it just so that I can hammer it in and not bend any of the components. Actually, this ball peen hammer was perfect to put behind it as support, and I'm just going to tap it in the rest of the way. And it's in. Whenever you put it back in, you can watch it go. And it's working. Before you put everything back in, make sure it all works.